Wattpad. Is it Wattpad or Wattpad? I think it's Wattpad. And on that website, there's a lot of fan fiction. There are a lot of love stories, and they are crazy. And today, I will be reacting to a Wattpad Harry Styles fan fiction about being smitten, because it's Smitten Saturday. So let's do it. Ask random guys in public to be your Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh. I'll write that down. Maybe I'll do that if I build up the courage. If I do, I'll film it. So anyways, let's read this Wattpad fan fiction and see if it's good. Are you ready? I'm really excited. This looks like a good one, so I'm really excited. It says, Emma Murphy was diagnosed with a life-threatening disease and had one last wish: to meet Harry Styles. Her wish came true, and Harry forms a strong connection with her. He vows to keep her strong, healthy, and alive. Will love be enough to make Emma overcome her sickness? Will the couple be able to have the forever after they always wanted? And this has 6.2 million views. So let's see if it's good. Are you ready? This is going to be interesting. Emma's point of view. I was idly sketching on the uncomfortable bed that had been my only companion for the last 2 weeks when I heard a knock at the door. Come in, I said, not looking up from the handsome face on the paper that was staring back at me. I heard the door open, and tell me if my reading's too dramatic and it gets annoying. And I heard the sound of heels clicked over to my bed. I finally looked up, happy to see my favorite nurse, Sarah. How are you feeling, Em? She said as she started hooking up some machines to my arm. I was so used to the procedure that she didn't have to tell me what she was doing. I shrugged, trying to direct my gaze anywhere, but at the needle she was sticking in my arm. I'm fine. Oh my gosh, by the way, if you get your blood drawn, never look. Never look. If anybody ever puts an IV in your arm, never look. You gotta look up at the ceiling, because I do that too. That reminds me of me, because I always look up and I'm like, I'm fine. I'm okay, because the nurse is like, are you okay? Are you okay? You look kind of stressed. And I'm like, I'm fine. Just get this needle out of my arm. Just get it over it. I go crazy. Anyways, back to the story. I continued to sketch, fully aware that Sarah was looking over my shoulder. You are drawing the boy from that band, right? You look? RJ, you look at the needle? How's it fun? Why would you do that? Don't do that. You're gonna faint. I would faint. I might faint. It's not that bad. Yes, it is. Look at my arm. I'm still healing. Anyways, I nodded. Harry Styles. Sarah chuckled. I wouldn't have guessed that you're a fan. Are you acting now? We're reading Harry Styles' Valentine's Day fan fiction. Because it's very entertaining. It's actually fun. It's fun. It's fun to get your blood drawn. It's not fun. It's fun. I wish I felt that way, because it would make my life easier, but I don't feel that way at all. Anyways, I smirked at her teasing. Anyone that stepped foot inside my hospital room would know that I adore One Direction. I covered pretty much every bare surface with their posters. It was comforting having the boys I idolized surround me 24/7, especially with all that I was going through. I looked at my watch, realizing how late it was. Do you know where my parents are? I haven't seen them in a few hours. Sarah quickly shook her head and made her way to the door. Sorry, I haven't seen them. I'm sure they'll be back soon. Harry's point of view. You boys can have one 10-minute break, our producer told us from outside our recording studio. We quickly filled out of the cramped room, all of us needing a break from the long hours of singing. I sat down on the couch with the rest of the boys following. So, Harry, Liam began, making sure he had my full attention. Your birthday is in 2 days. What do you have? Not getting the blood drawn, but the needle tingles. Oh my gosh. Ew. How? How do you enjoy that? That's crazy. Anyways, sorry, back to the story. I was about to speak, but Louis fake cried into my shoulder, mumbling about how he couldn't believe I was going to be 18. I nudged Louis off of me and looked back at Liam. I was thinking we could all go to a club or something. There was a chorus of agreement from the other 4 boys. Suddenly, our producer came back into the room. I was about to protest that it hadn't been 10 minutes yet, but he spoke before I could. Harry, you have a voicemail from someone, he said, putting the phone on speaker. Everyone stopped talking to listen to the message, curious as to who it was and what they wanted. Hi, Mr. Styles. My name is James Murphy. Our daughter, Emma, has been diagnosed with a rare type of cancer, and it has not been determined if it is treatable or not. The doctor predicted that she is only going to live for another year tops. Emma is a huge fan and won't stop talking about you. She recently mentioned that you share the same birthday. They share the same birthday. And lucky she was able to celebrate the same day as you. My wife and I love our daughter so much, and we just want her to be happy. We were wondering if it would be possible for you to stop by at the hospital to visit her on her birthday. We just want her to have one last happy memory. Unfortunately, her medical bills are overwhelming, so we can't pay you much. I completely understand if you can't. I'm sure you're very busy. I hope to hear from you soon. Bye. The message ended. I soon realized that I had 5 pairs of eyes glued to me. So, are you going to visit her? Niall said after a moment. I didn't have to think about it long at all. Of course not. Everyone looked appalled. Why not? Zane asked. Because I don't want to be surrounded by sick people on my birthday. Plus, they aren't even going to pay me, I said as I stood up and smoothed out my pants. So are we going to record or what? Why is Harry Styles being mean? I don't want Harry Styles to be mean. I want Harry Styles to be the nice person. You are a frolic reader. Is that a bad thing or a good thing? Because I don't know. But maybe I don't know. I walked back into the recording studio, and 3 others came in after me. I stuck my head back out and spotted Louis still planted on the couch. Are you coming? I said, a bit annoyed. Louis shook his head. I am not going anywhere until you agree to visit that girl. I took a deep breath, trying to hold in my urge of punching him in the face. Wow! Harry is violent. Harry Styles is violent. Stop being immature, Lou. Get in the studio. Just as I'd expected, Louis stayed where he was. Not until you agree. Good for Louis. I finally realized that he wouldn't budge until I came in, so I did. Fine, but only 5 minutes. I watched Louis do a little cheer as he joined the rest of us in the studio. If only I had known that I had just made the best decision of my life. So he's going to fall in love with her. Is that what's going to happen? He's going to fall in love with her. If you spilled the tea, then clean it up. Good point. Good point. 2 days quickly passed by, and it was finally my birthday. Harry is itching to get punched in the teeth by me. I know, why didn't he want to go? She in the character as well as I'm dying. And I'm not. Oh, you're not. You're kidding. Oh, okay. Don't kid about that. Oy vey. Unfortunately, I wasn't very excited for everything on my agenda. I grunted as I got out of my king-size bed. I wasn't looking forward to going to the hospital at all. Why do I just imagine Harry Styles getting out of his king-size bed and being like, oh, it's my birthday. I have to go to the hospital. I'm upset. It's not that I'm a cold-hearted bastard who has no feelings. It's just that I get a little creeped out when I'm near sick people. How's he gonna fall in love with her if he's creeped out around sick people? I don't understand. Okay. This maybe it's just me, but being around death really isn't my cup of tea. The sanitized sense of hospitals burns my nose. The sound of people screaming in another room makes me shiver. And the flickering fluorescent lights make me feel like I'm in a horror movie. I just hate it. Does he have some trauma? Does he have some childhood trauma with like hospitals that he needs to address? Is that what's going to happen? Is he going to have trauma or something and get through it? And yeah or no? Am I wrong? I took a quick shower and got dressed. I planned on stopping by bright and early just to get it over with. Once I was fully clothed, I hopped in my car and began drive to the London hospital. A few minutes later, I got a parking spot and made my way to the door. When the whirlwind of disinfectant and disease filled my nostrils, I knew I was in the right place. Well, that's a little harsh, Harry. Why are they making Harry harsh? I don't want that. I don't want that. I walked to the front desk, where a bored-looking lady... Why is Harry so mean? Why is Harry so mean? I don't like it. I don't like him being mean. I walked to the front desk where... That's so mean. Was typing on the computer when she realized someone in her presence. She looked up at me. Is he gonna, turn nice or something? Now I really regret punching him. Oh my gosh. Maybe I help you, sir, she said blandly. Yeah, I'm looking for... I paused to look down at the name I scribbled on a piece of paper. Emma Murphy? The woman checked her computer. Room 205. Go down the hall and make a left. I quickly thanked her and was on my way. When I reached her room, I saw two people standing outside of her door. They looked at me, and their worried faces brightened into happy smiles. Mr. Styles, thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to us. To Emma, the woman said to me. I shrugged. I can't stay too long. I have other appointments. You know what, Harry? If you're going to be rude to the sick girl and the sick girl's parents, don't even come, because you know what? The girl is going to be so much more hurt if Harry Styles comes to her hospital and he's a jerk. You know what I mean? On her birthday too. So Harry, perk up. Don't be a jerk. I don't like seeing Harry being mean. I don't feel like Harry Styles would do that. I don't feel like he would. I don't know Harry Styles, but I can't see him doing that. I don't think he would. I'm sure you do. Just a few seconds would make Emma happy. The woman gestured for the door, notifying me that it was time to make my appearance. Now we are going to Emma's point of view. Emma's point of view. Happy birthday, dear Emma. Happy birthday to you. My parents, Sarah, and a few other nurses sang to me. I smiled as I looked down at the cake they presented me. Happy 17th birthday, Emma, and many, many more. I felt a little sickened by the words on the cake. Everyone knew I wasn't going to have many more birthdays. Aww. This would likely be my last birthday, no matter how hard they tried. They couldn't hide the fact that I was dying. Sure, I had only been diagnosed with cancer a few weeks ago, and I was still healthy looking, but in a few months I would be nothing. Skin and bones, if that. Aww. I hid my true feelings and plastered on a smile. Thank you so much. My parents began making eye contact and mouthing things to each other. Sweetie, we'll be right back. Your present will be here any minute. I nodded as Sarah strapped a heart monitor around my arm. Even if it was my birthday, I still had to take billions of tests and have trillions of shots. I looked up when I heard the door handle twist. I expected to see my parents walk in with a few wrapped gifts in their hands, but no. Someone else walked through the door. And that someone was Harry Styles. When I laid my eyes on him for the first time, not being on a computer screen or poster, my heart literally skipped a beat. And if you don't believe me, ask everyone else in the room who heard my heart monitor beep. Harry's point of view. We are going to Harry's point of view. I walked into the small room and peered at one of the most beautiful girls I had ever seen. I had expected a frail, dying child, but I was greeted with a blonde hair, blue-eyed, pale-skinned teenager. You're Harry Styles, she stated after a few moments of analyzing me, trying to figure out if I was really there or just a figment of her imagination. Suddenly I felt myself loosen up and not feel so hateful. I walked over to the bed and gave her a gentle smile. Happy birthday, Emma. She blushed, her cheeks turning a rosy shade of pink. Thank you, too, she stuttered, still not believing that I was standing in front of her. Her parents came in, overjoyed that their daughter's wish came true. Thank you so much, Mr. Styles. You have done a nice deed, her dad said as he monitored for the door, signaling that I could leave. I felt a pang of guiltiness, knowing that I was actually forced into coming. It's my pleasure. If you don't mind, I would like to spend the day with Emma. She should have been a brunette. I agree. You know what? Like the blonde hair and blue eyes, it's a very typical beauty standard, which I don't like. Brunettes are iconic. Yes, Freya Balak, brunettes are iconic. I would have liked to see a brunette, and especially because I relate to the story a lot, and I just would have seen myself a little bit more in the story if she would have been brunette. So next time, help a girl out and make her brunette. Though no hate to people who have blonde hair and blue eyes. You're gorgeous. But brunettes are gorgeous too. Redheads are gorgeous too. We're all gorgeous. But yes, I would have liked Emma to be brunette, but yeah. Anyways, see now, he knows he needs to come. I tried to hide a smirk when I heard the girl choke on her breath. I watched as her parents' eyes widened. You don't have to do that. I thought you said you had other plans, her dad replied. I shook my head. Nope. I just realized that I am free for the whole day. The man exchanged glances with one of the nurses who was fiddling with a machine. She looked at me. I still have to give Emma a few tests. It might take an hour or so. I shrugged. I'll wait. What? What is the change, though, Harry? What was the change? That you just decided to be a nice person? It was just because she was pretty? That's it? You know what I mean? Is he just like, oh, she's hot, so I'll hang out with her? She should have been brunette, Asian, ginger, or black. I agree. Let's get some minorities in here. I agree. Yes, absolutely. We need representation in this world. Representation. I agree. Moments later, I was sitting in the waiting room, my mind flowing with questions. Why did I just do that? Where am I going to change her? Where am I going to take her? Sorry, not change her. I was reading the other part. Where am I going to take her? What changed my mind? I sat there for a little longer than an hour, and I still hadn't come to a conclusion. All I know is that a beautiful girl encased in medical supplies triggered it all. How romantic. How romantic. Or Latina. That would have been good. Would have been good. That was the perviest thing one could say to patient. What? What was the perviest thing that one could say to patient? But yeah, I feel you. Finally, I heard a door open and a figure walk towards me. I couldn't really see much of her while she was sitting in bed, but when she started standing up, I got a full view. She had long, skinny legs. Okay, now we know it's Wattpad. Now we know it's Wattpad. She had long, skinny legs, a flat stomach, and a small yet perky chest. Why is this in here? Right when I thought Wattpad was getting good. Because I was enjoying this. You know what I mean? Like, I thought this was like, could be a movie. I thought it could be like an Oscar-winning movie. Now it's just Wattpad. Now it's just like a weird fan fiction. So thank you, Wattpad. You never let me down. You know, like I thought like, wow, this is so normal. This story is so like normal and it's not weird and it just got weird. So thank you, Wattpad. Thank you, Wattpad. I got up and walked towards her. Ready? She smiled at me and nodded quickly. After she signaled herself out of the hospital, I grabbed her hand and pulled her to my car. Once we both buckled and the engine was revving, I turned my head to look at her. I'm gonna make this the best day of my life. And that's chapter 2. Wattpad. Wattpad. The dark hole of the internet. Though I will say, they're entertaining to read. Like, not gonna lie, Wattpad stuff's entertaining to read, but like, it's kind of weird. Wattpad's weird. There are better Wattpads out there. This whole story is weird, not normal weird. Yeah, that was a weird Wattpad. Are there better Wattpads out there, though? That was a weird Wattpad. That was a bad Wattpad. Here's the thing. I just think the fan fiction ones are, like, especially cringy and weird. I don't know. But anyways, that was the most stupid story I've ever heard. I know that would never happen. That would never happen in real life. You know what I mean? That would never happen. I know. And then